Brothers and sisters, we need to make sure that we set clear boundaries. If your child insists on having a phone, then establish strict rules about when, where, and how it can be used. Do not let them take their phone and do not let them lock themselves away with their device for hours without any supervision. Make it a rule that phones and computers should only be used in common areas where parents can see what is happening. Check their browsing history, their messages, and their social media interactions regularly. This is not about invading their privacy, this is about protecting them from harm. And let's be honest, many of us parents might not even fully understand how these platforms work. Social media is a vast, complex world where dangerous ideas, inappropriate content, and harmful influences are just a few clicks away. Young minds are impressionable, and exposure to the wrong things can shape their thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors in ways that are difficult to undo. Another major issue, brothers and sisters, is addiction. Today, screen addiction is a real problem. How many of us have seen our children become restless, angry, or even aggressive when their phones are taken away? This is a sign of addiction. Excessive screen time not only wastes valuable time but also negatively impacts their mental health. Studies show that excessive social media usage is linked to increased anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem in young people. They constantly compare their lives to the unrealistic and filtered lives they see online, which makes them feel inadequate and unhappy. So what is the solution? The solution is to introduce more meaningful activities into their lives. If your child is spending too much time online, then replace that time with something more beneficial. Enroll them in Quran classes. Get them involved in community service. Take them to the masjid regularly. Encourage them to engage in hobbies that develop their skills, such as learning a new language, playing a sport, or picking up an instrument. The key is to fill their time with positive, enriching activities so that they do not even feel the need to waste time on social media. Brothers and sisters, one of the greatest gifts we can give our children is our time. Many of us assume that providing for our families financially is enough. We work long hours, striving to give them a comfortable life, good clothes, and the best education. But while financial support is important, our children need our presence more than our presence. They need our guidance, our wisdom, and our love. We need to sit with them, talk to them, and understand what is going on in their lives. We need to have open and honest discussions with them about the challenges they face. If we do not educate them about the dangers of the world, someone else will, and often that someone else does not have their best interests at heart. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the best example of how to raise children. He was always present in their lives. He taught them not only through words but through his own actions. He showed them love, care. He set boundaries for them, and he guided them toward righteousness. This is what we need to do as parents. We cannot simply leave them to figure things out on their own. We need to be actively involved in their upbringing. We need to teach them the difference between right and wrong. We need to instill in them the values of Islam so that when they grow up, they do not just become successful in this dunya, but also in the akhirah. Brothers and sisters, let us make a firm intention today. Let us not waste another summer. Let us not waste another day. Let us take charge of our families, our children, and their future. May Allah guide us all, protect our children, and grant them success in both this life and the hereafter. Ameen. The power of influence. Brothers and sisters, let us understand something very important: the people our children interact with, the content they consume, and the environment they are exposed to all play a crucial role in their upbringing. A child does not grow in a vacuum. They absorb everything from their surroundings. Just as we are cautious about what kind of food they eat, ensuring it is halal, nutritious, and beneficial for their physical health, should we not be equally, if not more, concerned about what they are feeding their minds and souls? The Prophet told us in a very famous hadith that a person follows the religion of their close friend, so we must be mindful of whom we allow our children to befriend. This is especially crucial in today's digital age, where friendships are not just formed in person but also online. A stranger sitting thousands of miles away can have a direct influence on our children's thoughts, beliefs, and actions. This is why we, as parents and guardians, must take proactive steps to ensure our children's social circles, both online and offline, are beneficial for them. A structured routine for summer. One of the best ways to counter the negative influences of social media, idle time, and bad company is by having a structured and productive schedule. As we discussed earlier, summer is a time of opportunity, but it can also be a time of great loss if we do not use it wisely. If we fail to plan, then we are planning to fail. Parents should sit down with their children at the beginning of summer and set clear goals, both spiritual and educational. Here are a few areas we can focus on. Islamic education and spiritual growth. Enroll them in a Quran memorization or tafsir class. Arrange daily or weekly Islamic discussions at home. Teach them the meanings and significance of du'as. Take them to the masjid frequently, especially for Fajr and Isha, to build a connection with the house of Allah. Academic and personal development. Identify areas where they need academic support if needed. Encourage them to read books that enhance their knowledge and thinking skills. Teach them essential life skills such as cooking, managing finances, and basic home repairs. Physical activities and sports. Enroll them in sports activities to keep them physically active. Go on family hikes, bike rides, or nature walks. Encourage outdoor activities instead of excessive screen time. Community service and volunteering. Get them involved in feeding the poor, visiting the sick, or volunteering at local charities. Teach them the importance of giving back to the community. Encourage acts of kindness, even small ones such as helping neighbors or assisting elders. By ensuring our children remain engaged in meaningful activities, we prevent them from falling into harmful habits or wasting their time. The role of parents in nurturing character. Brothers and sisters, Allah has entrusted us with the responsibility of raising our children in the best way possible. We are not just providers of food and shelter. We are their mentors, role models, and spiritual guides. The way we live our lives has a profound impact on them. Children learn more from what they see than from what they hear. If we tell them to stay away from social media, but we are glued to our own screens all day, they will not listen. Punctual in their salah, but we ourselves delay our prayers, they will not take us seriously. If we emphasize the importance of honesty, kindness, and hard work but fail to exhibit these qualities in our own lives, they will notice the contradiction. We must lead by example. If we want them to be disciplined, we must show discipline in our own habits. If we want them to be connected to the Quran, they should see us reading it daily. If we want them to be mindful of their company, we must also be cautious about the kind of people we associate with. Final words. Seizing the moment. Brothers and sisters, our children will not remain children forever. The years will pass, and before we know it, they will be adults making their own decisions, living their own lives. The question is, what kind of foundation have we given them? Have we equipped them with the tools to navigate the challenges of life while staying true to their Islamic values? Have we instilled in them the love for Allah and His Messenger? Have we prepared them to be strong, responsible, and righteous individuals? If we do not take charge of their upbringing today, then tomorrow we may find ourselves regretting the choices they make. And regret at that stage will be of no benefit. The time to act is now. May Allah guide us all in fulfilling our responsibilities as parents and guardians. May He grant our children righteousness, wisdom, and success in both this life and the hereafter. Ameen.